Hi, good evening, all of you, and welcome to a new episode of Arguably the Reading Quest. I am Nishant. As you know, I have done multiple episodes on how to read poems, why to read poems, what are the book that a beginner should start while reading poetry, introduction to world poetry in general. But those were rather scattered and random, they were rather discrete. So this time I thought of doing a rather long and concrete episodes on reading poems. So I have thought of starting a series called the World Poetry Series, in which I shall be discussing one poet each episode, and introducing you guys to their works. And I shall also read one or two poems from their books so as to introduce you to their writing and what to expect. So this is going to be a long ongoing series, just like the series on the greatest philosophical novels that I have done, just like the series on the self-help book and the great sham that I have done. But those were rather short, 3 or 4 episodes, 5 episodes max. So this will be a continuing series of episodes of multiple episodes. So let me introduce you today to the first and foremost writer that has influenced me greatly, that is Hermann Hesse. Surprisingly, and not so surprisingly as well, Hermann Hesse and Tagore have been put parallelly by the connoisseur of world literature. So there is a striking parallel between Tagore and Hermann Hesse, between Hermann Hesse and Tagore, in a sense that the writing of both of these artists act as an antidote to the age of anxiety, act as an antidote to the age of nothingness. And there is a haunting, nostalgic homesickness in the writings of either Tagore or Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse writings are characterized by the words like serenity, the lyrical beauty, home calling, and so on. So this book is published at FSG Classic, and the translator is James Wright. Just to give you a brief idea, verbatim from the translator notes itself. Here the translator says that I don't intend here to offer more than an implicit judgment of Hesse's work. I like his poems very much, or I would not have tried to translate some of them. But I should say something about the poet's theme. Both his curious erudition and his own writings make clear his abiding concern with art as a way of searching for knowledge. Whether or not the strange and haunted old man ever learnt anything worth knowing is a matter still open to question. It has been argued by scholars and artists alike. All I wish to do is to offer a selection of Hesse poems which deals with the single theme of homesickness. Please understand. And that is beautiful. I suppose the word, like love, is simple enough at first glance. If somebody else is in love, love looks charmingly silly. You see the beautiful oxymoron, charmingly silly. If somebody else is homesick, we chuckle. The poor fellow hasn't grown up, but his struggle, his growth itself is a serious theme, and Hesse has touched this theme with a traditionally endearing delicacy. In one of the excerpts from his classic, which I have also discussed in a series of philosophical novels, that is Steppenwolf. So Steppenwolf, Hesse writes in one of the excerpts, and I read, "The music of Mozart belongs there, and the poetry of our great poets. The saints too belong there. You have worked wonders and suffered martyrdoms and given a great example to men. But the image of every true act, the strength of every true feeling, belongs to eternity just as much, even though no one knows of it or sees it or records it or hands it down to the posterity. Ah, we have to stumble through so much dirt and humbug before we reach home. And we have no one to guide us. Our only guide is our homesickness." That is what I think Hesse poetry is about, says the translator James Wright. He is homesick, but what is home? I do not know the answer, but I cherish Hesse because he at least knew how to ask the question. Also, I have done multiple episodes on Hermann Hesse novels as well. I have done an episode on Siddhartha. I have done episode on Peter Kamazin. I have done an episode on Narcissus and Goldman. And I have done an episode on Steppenwolf as well. So I have done 4 episodes. The description I'll be posting in, the link I'll be posting in the description to this video. Please do watch those videos as well. But here, Webster Scotch writes that Rilke, T.S. Eliot, Andre Gide, Thomas Mann rightly called Hesse a master. His fiction achieves the glorious anachronism of art created in the past. It speaks to us in the present. It glorifies the strategies of attempting to become a full human being, and it celebrates the novelty of failure. Yes, so if you really want to know this idea of celebrating the novelty of failure, Hesse is one go-to writer. Let me read some poems so as you will get an idea what to expect. So the poem is titled, Across the Fields. Across the sky the clouds move, across the field the wind, across the field the lost child of my mother wanders, across the street leaves blow, across the tree birds cry, across the mountain far away my home must be. Elizabeth, I should tell you a story. The night is already so late. Do you want to torment me, lovely Elizabeth? I write poems about that, just as you do, and the entire history of my love is you in this evening. You must not be troublesome and blow these poems away. Soon you will listen to them, listen and not understand. This poem is titled The Poet. So the poem reads, Only on me, the lonely one, the unending stars of the night shine. The stone fountain whispers its magic song, to me alone, to me the lonely one. The colorful shadows of the wandering clouds move like dreams over the open countryside. Neither house nor farmland, neither forest nor hunting privilege is given to me. What is mine belongs to no one. The plunging brook behind the wheel of the woods, the frightening sea, the bird whir of children at play, the weeping and singing, lonely in the evening of a man secretly loved. The temples of God are mine also, and mine the aristocratic groves of the past, and no less the luminous vault of heaven in the future is my home. Often in full flight of longing, my soul storms upward to gaze on the future of blessed men. Love, overcoming the law, love from people to people. I find them all again nobly transformed. Farmer, king, traders, men, busy sailors, shepherd and gardeners, all of them gratefully celebrate the festival of the future world. Only the poet is missing. The lonely one who looks on, the bearer of human longing. I again repeat, please see. The lonely one who looks on, the bearer of human longing, the pale image of whom the future, the fulfillment of the world, has no further need. Many garlands wilt on his grave, but no one remembers him. One last poem that I would like to quote, guys, that I would like to recite. And the poem is titled, At Night on High Seas. At night, when the sea cradles me and the pale star gleam lies down on its broad waves, then I free myself wholly from all activity and all the love. Then I free myself wholly from all activity and all the love, and stand silently and breathe purely, alone, cradled by the sea, that lies there cold and silent with 1,000 lights. Then I have to think of my friend, and my gaze sinks into their gazes. And I ask each one silent, alone, are you still mine? Is my sorrow a sorrow to you? Is my death a death? Question mark. Do you feel from my love, my grief, just a breath, just an echo? And the sea smiles, peacefully gazes back, silent, and smiles, no. And no greeting and no answer comes from anywhere. So guys, this is all for today's episode. I hope you can very well understand what to expect from his writings. So homesickness is the theme. But what kind of home? That you have to discover on your own. If you have still not liked, shared and subscribed my YouTube channel, Arguably The Reading Quest, please do that. Happy reading. Thank you so much.